Hi class, we're back on the wonderground.com website looking at that temperature map that we had a peek at in our introductory video for Chapter 3. Hopefully now you've had a chance to read some of the Chapter 3 material and give some thought to why it is that these isotherms on the west coast are being pulled downward, why it is that these isotherms in the Rocky Mountain region dip downward, and why it is that the isotherms over here in the southeast look the way they do. So let's start over here on the west coast. What's going on? Hopefully you've figured out that ocean currents are having an impact on the temperatures on the west coast. In the Pacific Ocean off the west coast of the United States, there are cold surface water ocean currents that are moving cold water down along the coast. And what happens is that cooler water helps to keep the temperatures on the west coast cooler. We also see an effect from the moderating impact of a large water body being adjacent to the coastline. It takes a lot more energy to change the temperature of water, and so water's temperature doesn't change much. Land's temperature changes quite a bit, and what we see is that land adjacent to large bodies of water tend to have more moderated air surface temperatures. And so it's not surprising then that the west coast is a little bit cooler in summer, and it's also probably warmer. We know it is warmer in winter as well. So what's happening in the Rocky Mountain region? Well, what's the temperature effect of altitude? How does altitude affect temperature? We know that as we go up in elevation, temperature drops. If we head up on top of the Grand Mesa outside of Grand Junction, we know the temperature is going to be cooler. And so this big dip in the isotherms here is because of the mountain range that runs through Colorado and northern New Mexico. And that is demonstrating that as we go, so let's say from here along the border of Utah and Arizona, and if we go east, we're going up in elevation and we go into cooler temperatures. So we can see a dip in the isotherms here because of change in altitude. What's happening over here on the East Coast? Well, I think one of the effects that we're seeing evidence of here is that moderating effect of a large body of water. We do know, too, that that moderating effect has a greater impact on the windward side of a continent or landmass than it does on the leeward side of a continent or landmass. So our winds are generally blowing from west to east across the United States. And as a result, the moderating effect of that large body of water is much greater over here on the west coast than it is on the east coast. But we also know that we're going to see bigger swings of temperature in the interior where we have a continental climate than we do on either coast.